Hey everyone, this is video 3 of my ongoing presentation here. Left off talking about a variety of things as I always do. And, I mentioned how I kind of went down the wrong path, in the past. And, I began to use alcohol and drugs as a youth. And I was always a good kid, always had a good heart. And, never, got as bad as some people did. Like, I could always catch myself. And I'm very thankful that I came from a good family and had the support that I did have. So I don't want to make it look like my family is completely bad. Like, I guess, a lot of it's open to interpretation, but you get what I'm saying. So let me back things up here a little bit to 2015. I mentioned before that I moved. It was like Perryville, Maryland. Perryville, Maryland. Oh my God. It was like moving. It's a garrison town. It's like a fake military. It's like a military town right next to Aberdeen Proving Grounds and Edgewood Arsenal. And if you know about Edgewood Arsenal, it's like probably the most evil place in the world. It has the biggest stockpile of chemical weapons. Probably the chemtrails that we see probably come from there. They probably were provided by the DuPont family and cloning programs there. Andrea Puharich, fellow Ashkenazi Jew, he made like really, really, really intriguing work there, like human microchips, all kinds of stuff with like LSD, really like just tons of stuff. Amazing man. You can see some of his presentations still, by the way. So I moved there, and I told you about the whole crosswalk thing, and excuse me. I started another thing that influenced it was I started eating a lot like all organic food, and it really like had a big impact on this. And like I do want to say about Obama, like this was when Obama was in, and like I really believe that like I don't want like first off I believe that like he should give back his Nobel Prize and the prize money. He started ISIS, and like the whole thing with the heroin epidemic, like how they gave that man the Nobel Peace Prize is no words. But he allowed like compared to Trump and like others, he was like straight up. Like, I didn't have to go down to the White House with a sign when Obama was in. And, like, there was a lot of things I didn't like about the guy. But, so, like, I just want to put that out there. And I started, like I said, eating all organic food and starting having a life-changing series. Another thing, Obama, I think he supposedly came from AB negative bloodline. He was quite possibly a clone from my mother's eggs. Just like a theory that I have. To be honest with you, like, it goes back and back and back. Like, God, I don't even want to know, like, the truth, to be honest with you. Like, I just want to, like, get out of this country and go somewhere that, like, is not controlled by the CIA. So, and just, never mind. Anyhow, this was, like, a life-changing thing, like, happened there, like, and, like, I started being able to control the weather, like, with my minds, and, like, I could, like, point, and, like, it would light, like, when, like, lightning storm would hit. And like I would like sense 2 or 3 seconds before lightning would strike, and I could like point before it would happen, like other things as well. And like I could like start thinking about stuff and like making like storms like build and everything else, and like other things, amazing sunsets, just like shooting stars, pointing at a star, and it starts to like arc up. Just like thinking, like clearing my mind. The sun starts to get brighter. I proved in past presentations that the like contrary to Albert Einstein, another AB negative. The speed of light is not a constant. It's actually like like it gets into wave theory, and like I really believe that meteors can like manifest rapidly. And like there was a Carrington event in the 1800s that like normally it takes a certain amount of time for the solar flares to reach the Earth, and like this one happened like way faster. And there's like a few other things as well that I really believe this. The guy John Forbes Nash from A Beautiful Mind was like 2 weeks away from getting ready to publish faster than the speed of light theory, and supposedly he died. Like I truly believe that that's plausible. So anyhow, okay, I told you about it started, like I said, like, so this was a big threat, basically around the same time I really believe that there was a takeover, like a complete takeover. Like I would see people in like blacked out SUVs, like flying, like basically trying to like push people, like push civilians away from me. And like at this point, like before to that, like my childhood, like some of the people, maybe they were like different, you know, socio-political backgrounds, whatever, you know, maybe some of them came from oil money, whatever, you know, everybody that was, like I said, in my life was in my life for a reason. And that point, everything was taken over, everything completely taken over. And there was like government, like I said, like presence. Like I said, keep in mind, my sister at this point, she works for the Department of Justice, and like she's stinky. And they killed off a lot of the real civilians and all my friends and a lot of Christians as well, and replaced them with people like embedded in this coup, these coups. And like I said, like had I sold out and conformed, I probably would have had a peaches and cream happy little life. Like everything would have been fine, maybe. I don't know. What they would have done is stole my kids and killed me off. And, you know, I know that now. Like, that's not even a matter of, like, opinion, but, like, guaranteed that's what they would have done. So, another thing I wanted, the University of Maryland, and, like, they tried to, like, they microchipped me or tried to microchip me. And, like, I was getting ready to get a root canal, and, which I actually recently came out with, like, alternative therapy using 35% food-grade hydrogen peroxide. I have, like, 2 or 3 presentations on it. It's, like, probably, like, if I had to, like, tell you my proudest achievement, and I'm not even taking credit for it, I'm sure somebody else realized this a long time ago, but like try to search it on the internet. So like what I'm gonna do is like all these things that like nobody else took like credit for, or like they're suppressed, I'm just gonna go start saying that I invented it. And like when I go down to like a place like say Mainline Pennsylvania, where these people pay $70,000 a year on their $10-20 million houses, and they pay that in taxes or whatever, you know, they send their kids to like a, you know, crazy schools, all this and that, like, you know, like, how do they get their money? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like you can pretty much trace it all back to like a few little things. Like everybody that has money has it for a reason. And like the people that have it shouldn't, the people that don't have it should. And, you know, so like at this point, like I said, like this, like I'm like starting to like have all this crazy, like intuitive abilities, all this stuff's coming to me. And I tried like innumerable things. Like I even like, and it was like driving me crazy. And like I tried even calling the police and explaining to them that like there's been a communist takeover. Like I'm a constitutionalist, and like I was hoping that like, you know, that like there's some kind of like a medium to like almost like take me to your leader, like alien invasion, like I guess War of the Worlds or something like that. You know, I come like take me to your leader type shit. But now I know why they didn't. Like they said, these people, because the Pennsylvania State Police is involved with the DuPonts, like directly in these human cloning programs, and the Hershey family. That's where the Pennsylvania State Police Academy is. Hershey family into it too. Like you get where I'm going with this. Like all the old money Jews, all the old money, and I met a lot of these people. Like I said, there's like Hershey. All these people, like, I grew up with them. Like there's Hershey's here, there's Bush's here, there's Walton's here, many others as well. But so like I said, I know why they didn't come, and they sent me to a crazy camp. Like my mom was actually to blame for this, and like like I said, they sent me to a crazy camp, and it was actually a CIA controlled facility. All the janitors were like either had like gold Freemasons rings or necklaces on. Like you want to talk about getting away with murder? That's how they do it. They can do it very, very, very easily. Like it was a very serious experience. I mean, I maybe put some hair on my chest in the end, but like what they did is they like, okay, so I'm there. Like, keep in mind, I'm eating like all organic, natural food, and like these people are like trying to force me to take pills. The water there like literally has pills in it or like drugs in it. Like I'm going crazy. Like they are like putting stuff in my food to like basically like make me feel like I'm like my throat's drying up and I'm like gonna like choke or something like that. I started flipping out. Like I actually went and grabbed a smoke signal or a fire alarm ripped it off the wall, like thinking that the fire people were gonna come like save me. They didn't come. They came, but they didn't do anything. And there was like this CIA Italian guy named Louis. This guy was like pretty open about what was going on. He was like talking about like molesting kids and incest and like all this crazy stuff. Like no lie. And like I'm not like trying to blow up, you know, like put shit out there, but it's true. And there was other people there too. It was really, really, really weird. Thank God I got out of there. And anyway, so they did. So I flipped out. Then they tackled me with like 8 people. take me into a room, strap me down on a gurney, and gave me some kind of shot that blew out my pineal gland, basically. Like, I heard that they give this to the military people. And, like, it did, you know, like, in the end, if I am Michael the Archangel, somebody say the Messiah, second coming of Christ, that really wouldn't matter. But this is what they did. I'm telling you the truth. And, like, it was a really, really, really serious thing. And they obviously didn't. These people obviously didn't realize who they were messing with or stealing from. You know, like I said, this facility was like a major turning point in the whole thing. And, like, I kind of, like, you know, like I said, they make you feel like you're scared, like, oh, you're going to be locked up and, like, never get out of one of these places, or institutionalized, or court ordered to take medicine or something like that. And, like, this is just one of the tactics they use. And, like, eventually you get so fed up with all this shit that you don't care. You're not afraid. Like, if you're going to take me, then take me. I'm ready to die. Like, just martyr me and do it. But they, like I said, they poison my food and my water, like, constantly. Like they put, like, neurological pathway blockers, probably heavy metals. And they try to give me Alzheimer's, do other things, and it's very, very, you know, evident, you know, what the game plan is. There's a few other things that happened in 2015 that were really life altering. I told you again, Dr. Bruce Grayson, IANDS, International Association Near Death Studies, the body electric. Specifically, if you search IANDS symptoms of near death experiencers, and, like, the whole list. When I first saw that, oh my goodness, it made me almost cry, like, especially watching that video, because, like, I felt so alien for so long and didn't know why I felt these ways. And I watched this and it made complete sense. It brought, like, everything together, and, like, literally brought tears to my eyes. Like, a very profound moment. Got to actually correspond with Dr. Grayson, and his lasting words to me before he retired were, "You are very blessed to see the materialistic trap that exists." And I, like, can't emphasize how important these words are, especially, you know, in modern times. But, you know, I started, like, you know, one interesting thing is, like, I started watching, like, you know, like, watching Alex Jones stuff before he was all up Trump's ass. And, like I said, like, he is, like, a pretty intelligent man, and, like, he really has done some pretty amazing work that he doesn't get credit for. He gets kookified, just like people are probably going to do to me. And I really don't care at this point. You know, keep breathing the nuclear radioactive air and taking your vaccines and your 2 or 3 booster shots a year. You know, see where it gets you 2 years from now. But anyways, he, like, the weird thing is like, he really, like, raised awareness to me about Russia, and, like, almost to, like, where Russia was, like, the good people, like everybody else, like, you know, like, there's a lot of things, and, like, almost like it was, like, mind control. I don't want to say mind control. I mean, I'm Russian origin, so, like, but anyhow, like, I decided to go there in 2017 with my mother. I'm going to get to that here shortly, but, like I said, I really believe it. Hold on a second here. Okay, yeah, so I want to back up and say something too, like, an interesting thing. Okay, so, like, there's this book, The Lost Diary of Admiral Byrd, and it talks about, like, this legendary admiral from the United States Navy. He, like, took these expeditions to the South Pole. Like, supposedly he, like, saw all this crazy stuff there. Like, it's really beautiful, lush prairie land, like, pastures, and there was, like, dinosaurs there, like, prehistoric beasts, and, like, woolly mammoth type things there. And then there's, like, this hollow earth portal. And then he was, like, surrounded by UFOs that had swastikas on them. And, like, as crazy as it sounded, this account is very consistent all around the world. And, like, the swastika is not a symbol of hate. It is painted that by the Jews because they know that there's special abilities to it. It means rotating forces. This is actually called the Klovorat. It's like a Slavic version of it. Gets into, like, Veden culture, or, like, Vikings, Norse culture as well. And so yes, like, my grandfather broke Japanese code, and, like, so anyways, this guy Admiral Byrd, he's there, and he's approached by these aliens, and they could speak to him without speaking. It was through telepathy. Like, they're that advanced of a race and culture that they could speak to him through telepathy. And they told him that, like, they wanted to remain anonymous, but because the United States started detonating nuclear weapons, like, testing, they said this will bring about the end of the world. This is not good. And, like, they had to make their presence known. So, like, what I believe happened is they, like, came up and, like, either through, like to telepathy or whatever, like basically like took almost like abducted certain people. My grandfather may have been one of them. I really believe he could have quite possibly broke Japanese. When I see my abilities, he could probably do equal, if not better than I could. And like, I have no doubt that he probably broke it himself. And, but like, these, like I said, it's just really, really interesting, this book. And they, like I said, they said to him that like, this is going to destroy the world, and that you needed like to, like, basically, I guess, convey this information. The guy went back to Washington D.C. They had a parade for him, like a full out, like, I don't know if it was in New York or where it was, but they had a full out parade for him. You can look this up. And then like he started saying this stuff, and they sent him to a doctor, and the doctor said, no, there's nothing wrong with this guy. This guy's like, one of the best we have. He's like a lifelong admiral, and like they tried to, like I said, like they realized that it was real, and this information has stayed very suppressed, but it ties together this like deeper, bigger matrix of sorts. Like the whole thing is much bigger than like us, these little humans. Like we're like ants to these people. Like they could have taken us over, like, it's like a game to them. It's like seriously, like they're toying with us. I'm telling you, like it's pretty wild. And especially when you understand how UFOs work and dimensions and wave theory all comes together. Theory of everything. Check it out. Part 1 of like 11 hours. So good luck. So anyways, 2017, I decided to take my mom to Russia. We went there for the May Day parade. And at that point, like, like I'm not really like deep. I'm not really working for them at this point. I'm just like a tourist, kind of like, but like they know who I am. And like, they obviously, like, they made negotiations with the Americans before I went there, several things. And I met some girls, like, some of them were prostitutes or whatever. I'm going to put that out there. But like, basically, like, I came to the conclusion that like it was to my advantage to like work with these people, to like trade them genetics for like A, protection for the United States government, and B, I guess, future considerations. But like these people were deeply embedded with like banking interests and other people as well. Some of the same people that the United States was, and it, like deeply into the cloning, the sodomy, puppets, everything. Like, so like it's really not like, it's really a bad situation. But luckily, there are a lot of really good people in the Russian military and around the world that I guess are truth seekers like me and maybe you. And I took my great grandmother. She had this silk robe that had a lion and a lamb on it. She gave my mom like years ago, and I like had this girl put it on. Like I basically figured that like they're in this country, they don't want me with any beautiful Slavic girls. They want me with like an Italian girl. They want me with a German girl. But they don't like see what they want to do is like basically steal the beautiful genetics and like push or push for like a uni race, uni world, like a mulatto look, which if you go to Europe, that's like pretty popular theme in Europe. Like the French used to have like very beautiful genetics, and like they like the Italians blended in with them, and like the Germans still look like Germans though. It's kind of like other people. Like I predict that in time you're gonna see like the demise of the European Union. That like the Germans are not gonna want to like be brought down by the Italians. The French are gonna want to like not be dictated by the Germans, and it's going to be a mess. And then there's other people like Spain. But so the first girl, like I said, like basically like I filled a condom up, and like like there was this woman there that like was kind of like a wink thing. Her name was Ludama, or like I didn't know at that time, but later on I would meet her. She would become she was actually a girlfriend of mine. I recently just met her. And I mean, I don't think we're gonna, have kids or get married. She's like 46, which she's very beautiful for 46. This is a picture of her when she was younger. She gave this to me, and like they say like you can tell a lot by like the baby pictures. Like she looks like some like Tsar's daughter, like a Russian monarch or something. I don't know who she is, but like she has very deep connections to the Sukhoi Corporation. Like these people are serious. They're not playing games. And here's another picture. Her and I, Dominican Republic. I took her to. She had to like listen to me for hours and hours, say my food's being poisoned. I think I'm going to die. I think I'm going to go into a home. This and that and everything else. One time, I was like the Freemasons here hate me. Like they wanted me dead in the car accident that they wrecked me in when I was 6. Like I was an innocent little fucking boy then, like a completely innocent. and like they corrupted me, and then like they try to make me look like I'm a bad person, and like I'm the boogeyman, and then they ganged, like they beat me up, like 6-on-1 one night, like 7-on-1, like took me down a dark, like almost killed me. It was serious. And like I have like serious like neck issues and everything. Like these people were not like having mercy. I believe they were like part of the Freemasons and Trump. Like right after that, like it was like the dude at the casino, like basically shot a whole bunch of fire people up or something like that. Or like whatever. Like I don't know. I'm not justifying gun violence at all, but like these people aren't playing games. I'll tell you like right now. Like basically. If you wanted to have protection, like you'd want to have protection from the Russians and the Chinese. Ivanka, she's got, like I said, she spread her ass all over Russia, all over China. Trump thinks he's a slickster, giving genetics to the drug cartels in Colombia. An interesting thing, like with Colombia, I've actually went there recently, and like they have like 4 things like in their atmosphere that like other people don't have. One of them is the Pacific Ocean. It's like a huge saltwater air filter. The other is the Andes Mountains, and then the Amazon rainforest, like tons and tons of oxygen, and the equator, like all those things together, and that's like why the coca grows there, nowhere else in the world. The air there, you can smell the oxygen in it. Like it probably was like amazing like 20 years ago, like our air was, and but like that area is going to be. There's going to be wars fought over that area very soon here. As like the rich people and everybody around the world realizes in nuclear warfare that clean air is everything. You know, I love my state of Pennsylvania, and you know I'm willing to go down with the ship here. I just recently got a Russian visa, and I'm hoping to go back there. You know, my goal is to escape my CIA captors, but at this point, it's like I'm ready to go back to the 1800s or some Native American level stuff. Call me Warbird. That'd be my Native American name. I'll go out and live in a teepee and love every minute of it. Okay, so I told you about Ludama. Finally got to meet her after 2 years. And, you know, I didn't know at the time, but that girl, number one, her name was Diana. She was actually she's British. So like, was probably like a clone of my mom, or like eggplant kid. I don't know, but like I see like in other pictures I saw the resemblance, and like she looked very much like her. And like basically like I came to the conclusion very fast that the UK, the Rothschilds, are like deeply embedded with the Russians, like and the Americans, and like the whole thing is much bigger than just me. They're like it's a huge coup, and like thank God that like it's starting to fail. People are realizing. And like I guess ultimately they need the right to admit their wrongs and accept the fact that they're going to face judgment. That there's certain, like, God made the commandment, number 1, there shall be no other gods before me for a reason. It was the first commandment for a reason. And this is going to get interesting. Stay with me, folks. Like I promise you, it's going to build like it's like a. So, you know, they had these. Like I said, they had these genetics for decades before I was even born, you know, and like they've crossed them with each other and this and that. And like, you know, they probably got some really beautiful girls, probably some really intelligent, but like ultimately they didn't, it reminds me of like, the movie, The Terminator, like the T-2000 is like Arnold is like an old school model. And like they're like he's against T-1000, but in the end he beats him. I'm like the reptilian high. I'm like B positive, which they don't want. They want the AB negative. The blood, you know, the lamb blood, and same as Jesus. Like they wrote me off, didn't think anything of it. Some people probably didn't, but anyhow. So girl number 2 was Olga, and like I actually came inside her, and like maybe she had a kid, maybe she didn't, I don't know, but like maybe they, you know, like this was like more of a natural conception where like whatever, like you know, I don't know whatever happened there. I'd like to think that like I know that I have kids in Russia, and I'm like, they have pretty much the closest thing to the Grail, in my opinion. But like, you know, I like that doesn't give them a reason to kill me off and like, you know, override my consciousness. But you know, also an impactful experience. I went to Michael the Archangel Cathedral, which is where Michael Romanoff is buried. Then I went to after Moscow, St. Petersburg, and there's this girl there. meets me off the train, the tour guide. Name's Alexandria. Like, so all these people that I meet everywhere, not just in America but everywhere, like they're for a reason. Like this girl, she sits me down at this restaurant, and it, like, ironically looks really eerily like dead similar to this one in Alexandria, Virginia. Like her name is Alexandria, and like it was like really, really weird. It looked like exactly like this restaurant. She sits down, and from complete memory in her head, draws like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years of Russian lineages, like the whole trees and everything from like the Romanov dynasty, everything, and like it's a big deal to the Russians, like it. You get what I'm saying? It's like a pride. It's a matter of pride, like So then, the third girl I met, I told you about the first two. Like this one was very, very special. Like she wasn't like I go there thinking I'm gonna like get these like model quality girls. Like this one, was like I said, her name was Alina. So I'm sitting in the lobby waiting for her, and like I have I usually use a dictionary, but it was like there was just one happened to be next to me. It was a Russian English dictionary. I go to the first word, secret police comes up, and I'm like, oh my goodness. And like I meet this girl. She like, you just tell she wasn't like an average person, the way she dressed. Her name, like I've came to like find out later on, I really believe Elena G. Rothschild. And she basically is the Bavarian Illuminati. Like, she's the Bavarian Illuminati. And this girl, oh my God, she came at me like a freight train, man. This thing for redheads anymore. Like ever since that, I just really, she had B negative blood type. I really believe she was an alien. Her name Alina. Like she actually is like a terrestrial. I'm not saying she came from another, like, I don't know. There's different ways to really be aliens, whether it's near-death experiences, whether it's from blood, maybe coming from the hollow earth, maybe coming from, some type of other dimension. Who knows? But anyways, basically traded her genetics too. I think she was like where the whole thing kind of like connected the Rothschilds, the British, and everything else. And like I said, keep in mind the British have their own little thing going on with the monarchy, and Ashkenazi Jew girl Kate Middleton, and their little Prince George and Charlotte. And you can even see, like you haven't seen any pictures of Charlotte lately. I don't even think the pictures they show you of her now are really her. I think that she was starting to look too much like a Ukrainian sodomy puppet. Like, she looked too Ukrainian. And they had to, like, either change her or, like, take her somewhere else or something. I mean, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. But, like, if they truly stole from my family, then I guess I am trying to be disrespectful. You don't steal certain things, like, are just not meant to be touched. Okay, so the girl number 3, like I said, she was the best I ever had. Like, I'm going to show you another picture of her, too. At this point, you're probably either really turned off by me or, like, this probably has to be, like, the most interesting thing you've ever heard. That's actually the Romanov crown. But she's like a snake. You can see her. She's like a reptile. She's an alien. And one of my biggest regrets, she tried to get me to go move to St. Petersburg with her when I got back. And I didn't know a lot of Russian language at that point. And I was just really, like intimidated about, this whole, just going over there with, my situation. And I actually had hope that I was going to, achieve the American dream and, I guess, be successful and happy like everybody else wants to be. And, little did I know that I was going to face against the grain current the whole entire way. And like I said, it was one of my biggest regrets. And she actually, like, indirectly taught me about witchcraft and black magic, sorcery. Like, one thing, like, you can do is, like, draw, like, a picture of something, like if you have these abilities, you can like almost do a hex on somebody, like draw a picture of something, like of them bleeding or dying. Like you'd be amazed at how effective that is. Other things as well, combined with like I said, I've mastered the art of like occult alchemy and other things just like over the years, and I continue to learn more and do more and read more and all kinds of stuff. Like someday I'm gonna like write my own doctrines and books and stuff on various interesting things. So it's a big deal, like I said, about these dynasties and just like the bloodlines. But keep in mind, they go back further. It's like like a few hundred years is a long time, but it goes back thousands of years. Basically, the Chinese imperial bloodline, And so let me see here. She told me a lot of stuff, and she told me, okay, so like one of her words to me was like almost like an order. She said, you're going to go to Kiev and you're going to like it. Kiev, Ukraine. Keep in mind, Kiev is Russia, or Ukraine is Russia. I'm going to stop here, and I will see you at video number 4. Thanks for staying with me.